Hello and welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to a midweek review reviewing everything that happened in midweek, and there was a lot. So let's get straight into it with Manchester City, who defeated Red Bull Leipzig 7-0 in the second leg. It was obviously 1-1 coming into it, so a bit tense, but no. Haaland scored five goals and put it to bed. Gundogan and De Bruyne were the other few. But yeah, just an incredible performance from City and Haaland, and it really does feel like they're starting to find their groove now ahead of the run, and that will be concerning for Arsenal. But moving on into another game in the Champions League, and that was Liverpool crashing out. Just a really tame performance, 1-0 against Real Madrid. And yeah, it's carrying Benzema with a goal in the 78th minute. And yeah, just on the whole, Real Madrid just totally outplayed Liverpool. I don't know. Yeah, just what the performance offered nothing. You really thought they'd come out fighting and with all speed, but in the end that just never really materialised, and it was just a limp, painful way for Liverpool to enter the competition, and yeah, just a disappointing season continues really. But moving on then to Thursday's action, and it was Manchester United who defeated Real Betis 1-0 to secure a comfortable route through to the next round of the Europa League. It was Marcus Rashford in the 56th minute who scored, and yeah, on the whole, it's just a comfortable win for Manchester United. I don't think they were really pushing too hard. Obviously, you had a 4-1 advantage coming into it, and just saw it off, and in the end just did what they needed to do to get through to the next round. And with Arsenal out, I don't know, maybe they're feeling confident about their chances. Moving on then to Arsenal, like I just mentioned, and they were knocked out by Sporting on penalty kicks. They took the lead in the 19th minute through Xhaka, and we all thought it would be safe for them to go through, but Gonzalez with an incredible goal from the halfway line in the 62nd minute made it nervy for Arsenal, and in the end they crashed out on penalties. Martinelli missing, Ramsdale not having the best game, maybe should have done better with their goal, but yeah, disappointing for Arsenal. But in a way, could it be a blessing in disguise and focus on the league? Who knows, we'll have to wait and see. But moving on then to the two Premier League games this week, and both took place on Wednesday, and yeah, it was a 1-0 win for Brighton against Crystal Palace in a match which saw the end for Patrick Vieira. Solly Marsh with the only goal of the game early on in the 15th minute, and yeah, great win for Brighton, and their great season continues. But for Palace, second Vieira, I know they are in a relegation battle and things have been tough for them recently, but I don't know, I still feel like he deserved more time. He did a good job there, just a bad run of form. I still feel like it would have picked up when they had some easy games to play, but there we go. Southampton 0, Brentford 2 at St Mary's with the score, and yeah, Ivan Toney in the 32nd minute celebrating his England call up with a goal, and Visa in the 97th minute made it 2-0 to Brentford, and yeah, a game that Brentford deserved to win. Southampton were really poor, didn't offer much, and yeah, I don't know, I expected a bit more from Southampton. A great win for Brentford, their incredible season marched on, but for Southampton, a real chance to get out of the relegation zone for the first time in what feels like ever, and yeah, they just didn't take it at all, so they'll be frustrated. Moving on into Millwall, as they defeated Swansea 2-1 in the Championship. Bradshaw and Volkshammer with the goals to make it 2-0. Manning made it 2-1, but yeah, on the whole, Millwall deserving the victory, and it's a big win for them. It gives them a 4-point advantage over Norwich in a race for the final playoff spot. So yeah, I think they'll be feeling good about that advantage. I really feel confident. But for Swansea, yeah, their season, it's just not going well for them at the moment. So yeah, I think they'll be disappointed with that. But yeah, Millwall, big win for them. Moving on then to Wigan, and they drew 1-1 with Coventry. Coventry took the lead after half-time through Victor Okerez, but a late own goal from McFadden made it 1-1. And yeah, Coventry coming into this one, yeah, I don't know, I think it's a game which they probably expected to win, but in the end which will obviously be frustrating for them. Wigan, with Blackpool winning, yeah, maybe frustrating to only get 1 point, but in the end of the day, I think it's still a solid point for them. But for Coventry, yeah, if they want to close down the gaps of playoff positions, I don't know, I feel like this is a game they kind of feel like they have to be winning. Moving on then to Watford, as they defeated Birmingham 3-0, and yeah, good win for Watford this one. Loser, Davis and Assombalonga with the goals for Watford. And yeah, Chris Wilder obviously had a disappointing first game in charge and made all the more worse kind of by the result that QPR got this week. But yeah, good win for them. Birmingham, disappointing result, but you know, you still kind of feel like at the moment they're going to have enough to be safe. But yeah, good win for Watford as they look to reinvigorate their playoff charge. Moving on then to Rotherham 1, Preston 2 at the New York Stadium. And yeah, Cannon with a goal in the 23rd minute made it 1-0 before a Dauphin equalised in the 35th minute. But yeah, Ched Evans with a goal just before half-time made it 2-1, and in the end sealed the win for Preston, and yeah, it's a big win for Preston. Their form at the moment is it's pretty solid, isn't it? They've won 3 of the last 5, unbeaten in 5, but for Rotherham, disappointing result. But yeah, still feel like they should be okay. But moving on then to Blackpool, as they defeated QPR 6-1, and what an incredible result this was for Blackpool. Not sure who saw this coming, but I definitely didn't. Just an incredible performance. Goals from Yates, Leons, Nelson, Tiani, Leons again, and Dougal. 5 different goal scorers as well, which is a positive. The goal for QPR coming from Chris Martin. But yeah, QPR, they're just a mess at the moment. It shows how much work Ainsworth has got to do. But for Blackpool, big win. That'll give them major hope they can get out of trouble. Moving on then to Middlesbrough, as they took on Stoke and only drew 1-1. And yeah, I think Middlesbrough will probably be disappointed with this one, because yeah, obviously it's a big chance to close the gap on Sheffield United with them playing the day after, but they couldn't take it. 1-1 draw, and in the end, I think Stoke were fully deserving of the point. They've improved massively lately, and so massively fair play to them. But yeah, still a disappointing result for Middlesbrough. They've got a lot of work to do if they want to get that second place. Moving on then to Cardiff, and they drew 1-1 with West Brom on Wednesday, in the Championship. DK scored for West Brom in the 17th minute before Cabba in the 65th minute made it 1-1. On the whole, I'd say a draw is a fair result here. Not too much separated the two sides. West Brom 5 points off Millwall in the playoff spots. They got a bit of work to do, and Cardiff only 4 points back from Blackpool. You feel like their form will be good enough to stay up, but still got some work to do. Moving on then to Luton, and they defeated Bristol City 1-0 at Kenilworth Road. And yeah, Luton, big win for them. Morris with the only goal of the game in the 4th minute, and yeah, they've got a really solid gap now, and 7 points over Norwich, so you feel like that probably will be enough to secure playoffs for a second successive season for them. And Bristol City in 13th, they've got some work to do, I think that's fair to say. Their form kind of dipped off a bit after a really good period. Moving on then to Hull, as they took on Burnley and defeated and lost 3-1 to them. Nathan Tella with a hat-trick here. Really impressive season for them, just showing how good he is. But Tufan with an own consolation goal in the 93rd minute. On the whole, I don't know, it wasn't Burnley's best performance by any means, but in the end they still won pretty comfortably. I think that kind of just demonstrates how good they are and why they're going to be playing Premier League football next season, probably do quite well in the Premier League next season. Hull always going to be a bit of a free hit this one. Moving on then to Huddersfield, as they take on Norwich and drew 1-1. Sarr with a goal in the 26th minute, and before Hanley scored an own goal in the 65th minute to make it 1-1. A result which I think Norwich will be frustrated to give away, and in their pursuit of the playoffs, really giving away an own goal, and to the team struggling as much as Huddersfield, with the gap at 4 points, could have been down to 2 points. I think that's a really, really poor result for Norwich, I can't lie, but for Huddersfield it could be crucial, you never know. Moving on then to Blackburn, as they defeated Reading 2-1 at Ewood Park, and Ben Brereton Diaz in the 2nd minute made it 1-0 before Cassidy equalised in the 68th minute for Reading. Hedges made it 2-1 late on though, and Loom was sent off after that. In the end, Blackburn, I think they deserve the win. In the end, they got what they deserved, but big win for them. Their playoff place is looking secure. But for Reading, their form at the moment is really, really concerning. Moving on then to Sunderland, and they were defeated 2-1 by Sheffield United. They took the lead in the 30th minute before McAtee equalised just before half-time for Sheffield United, and Doyle, post-half-time in the 61st minute, made it 2-1 to Sheffield United. Sheffield United's big win for them with Barrow dropping points, and they'll be feeling a lot more confident now of getting that second place. But for Sunderland, it's frustrating because I think their form is kind of petering out a bit, which will be disappointing for them at mid-playoff charge. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. To like, share, subscribe, no thoughts, comments, I'm going to for daily football news and subscribe to our channel. Greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.